Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have a conversation with coaching experts. Our topic today is how with coaching can we create a better reality? Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have a really exciting episode today. We're in conversation with coaching experts. We have the wonderful Desiree Anderson, Alex Vitilo, Andrea Ramirez, Brian Evans and Lidia Kuleshnyk. Now, I really messed up that introduction, so I want to say again what the topic of the show is today: how it is possible with coaching to create a better future for ourselves. I said that a little bit better. We are streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're also on the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many more. And we're also on mspnewsglobal.com, and we're also going out to Business Innovators Radio Network. I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Dreamweaver, Artist, Ranch. So let's bring in one of our experts at a time and find out who they are and what they do. So I'm going to start with Brian Evans. Brian, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thanks so much, Mark. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. It's always exciting to speak with you.
It's an absolute pleasure. So, Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Excellent. Thank you. So my name is Brian Evans. I'm the CEO of Brian Evans Coaching, which is a private coaching practice that I established in 2004. So we're just starting 18 years. I'm headquartered in Los Angeles. I have a satellite office in Kona, Hawaii, but I serve clients around the world. And my specialty these days is in leadership coaching, what I refer to as leadership coaching, which includes both executive leadership, but also personal leadership. So it spans a spectrum of all individuals. And in 18 years, I've coached and consulted with dozens of individuals and organizations across nearly 50 business sectors on 5 continents. And Mark, I like to encapsulate the work that I do into my intention and my mission. My intention is to coach clients to improve their lives and the lives of others. And my mission is to inspire and guide humanity to be, do, and live better.
A great mission, and I know how passionate you are, Brian, about serving your clients and getting them results. So we're going to have a great conversation today. I will just take you out while I bring in our next guest. Lidia Kuleshnyk, welcome to Brilliance Business TV. Tell us who you are, what you do, how you serve the world.
Well, thank you. It's an honor and pleasure to be here with you today, Mark, and our other expert coaches. As you know, my name's Lidia Kuleshnyk, also known as Lady Apona, and I've been in private practice for 25 years. I specialize in high performance and wellness coaching. I combine the two to help overworked, stressed out, high achieving men and women master their inner power, manage their stress and energy, and learn how to honor and really support their health so they can fully reclaim their health and fully regain that strong, stable energy that we all need to achieve our goals, and then refine that inner power that already exists within them. So I love what I do, and I got into it through holistic coaching to support clients with chronic health conditions, and now it's evolving into high performance coaching.
Energy is really powerful, Lydia, and I know you're passionate about your work and really serving the world. I will bring you back in for your questions shortly. Thank you for coming up and sharing a little bit about yourself. Our next guest today is the incredible Desiree Anderson. Welcome, Desiree.
Hi, Mark. Lovely to see you again.
It's lovely to see you. Tell us who you are and how you serve the world.
Of course. So I'm Desiree Anderson. I live in West Sussex in the UK, but you can probably hear I hail from Cape Town, sort of 22 years ago. I moved over to the UK. I'm the MD of Crest Leadership Coaching. I run a coaching company that empowers leaders. And my mission is to have a wave of cultural change in the workplace, empowering these leaders to live a life they love, navigate their career with ease, and thereby make sure that they have their talents utilized to the full and they get paid what they're worth. So I'm really glad to be with you today and chat more about coaching, which I'm absolutely passionate about. I've been in coaching all my life. I first was an HR consultant and a leadership consultant for leading companies around the world until I opened up my coaching company in 2019.
Well, we all should get paid what we are worth. And I know you are passionate about serving your clients so they get the results that they want as well. Thank you for sharing. I will be with you shortly, Desiree. And our next incredible guest is Alex Vitalo. Alex, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Hello, Mark. So excited to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. Share with us who you are, Alex, and how you serve the world.
Thank you. So my name is Alex Vitilo. I'm the founder of Breathing Heart. I'm a leading shamanic priestess of wealth and well-being. And I'm sure you're all wondering, what does it mean? It means many things. But what I really help my clients do, I empower them to become the soulful, impactful, rich leader that I were born to be without overwhelm. There are many ways to be rich and to be a leader, but we want to do it without stress and with a lot of grace and ease. And my clients are based worldwide. I work online. I bring a combination of mystical and very practical tools. I have more than 15 years plus in finances, working on the trading floor, and I mix that with the spiritual business. So that would be me. Thank you.
It's great work what you do, Alex, and it is so true that we need to get that balance right in the business and entrepreneurship world. We can work, and we can get overwhelmed. So I like that you serve your clients in that way and help them to create abundance. I will see you in a short while. Our next incredible guest is the incredible Andrea Ramirez. Andrea, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you, Mark. Very nice to be here again.
It's a pleasure to have you again, Andrea. Tell us who you are and what you do.
So I'm Andrea Ramirez, and I'm the founder of Fortuna Living. I am a channeler, medium, and spiritual coach. I bring spirituality and entrepreneurship together for a better focus, flow, abundance mentality, and very important, self-care. I work with techniques that help bring understanding and healing from the inside out, reprogramming negative thought patterns using tools like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, hypnosis to access our subconscious, energy healing such as Reiki and LNT, which is a new type of quantum healing. I also use Tarot for personal evolution because it has a very specific symbolic language that speaks to our subconscious, and channeling, which is also known as mediumship, a very special and specific tool. And I use it to bring deeper wisdom and understanding and guidance from to sort any past or present or future situations where we need guidance when spirit is needed. So everything is from spirituality to entrepreneurship to subconscious reprogramming. And because well-being is my highest value, I share my knowledge with the main focus on an all-round well-being from spirit, which I believe is our source of peace and wisdom.
Beautifully said, Andrea. And spirituality and business go together so well when you work them together. And NLP is very powerful, hypnosis and energy. We have a great group of people today. Stay where you are, Andrea, and you'll be back up shortly. We have the great group of experts all in line with each other, helping people in similar ways but very different ways to help their clients get results. So I'm going to bring up the incredible Brian Evans. Brian, why did you become a coach?
Well, it's a great question, Mark, and I think I could share with you 100 different stories in my life that led me to become a coach. But I think the through line on all of them is that I became a coach because coaching transformed my life, and I wanted to pay it forward and help others, begin to intentionally transform their own lives, and create a transformational butterfly effect. For a good portion of my life, I existed, but I wasn't living, and it reached a really critical. There've been really critical points where it's broken through the awareness that, wait a minute, I'm simply existing. I'm not living. I'm being reactive, but I'm not being intentional. And I had no idea how to change this experience. And I think that that's something that a lot of your listeners and viewers and just people throughout the world understand, that something is out of sorts, but they're not quite sure how to move through it or to transform it. And in 1997, I was fortunate enough to meet Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he helped me to understand what a coach is, that a coach is not a fixer. It's not someone to come and fix your life. It's someone who stands behind you, stands beside you, and stands ahead of you, because the coach supports with you, they accompany you, and they lead you to the insights that change your life. And that's been my experience of coaching. And what I share with my clients is that, there's a saying that the only constant in life is change. And I amend that a little bit. And I say the only constant in life is the uncertainty of change.
Yes.
At the degree to which we can navigate and become comfortable with uncertainty is the degree to which we can become fully intentional in our lives. And coaching allows me and my clients to expand our ability to navigate that uncertainty and embrace life. So the takeaway that I would offer to your viewers and listeners is that life is uncertain. It's not a problem that we're here to fix. It's an adventure to be experienced. And I coach others to recognize and embrace this truth.
I love that, Brian. That's beautifully said. And coaching certainly changed my life. Without coaching, I don't think I would be where I've got to today. And I've had all sorts of different coaches, from life coaching, business coaching, voice coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they take you from where you want to be to where you want to go to. Did I say that correctly? From where you are,
from where you are to where you want to go. And we're always navigating all of the things that are in between those 2 points. And that's where a coach really comes in, is to, where do the breakdowns happen? How can I support you in moving from where you are to where you want to be? So you model that beautifully, Mark.
Beautiful. Well, stay where you are. We'll have you back up again in a second, Brian. The incredible Lidia Kuleshnyk. Lidia, why did you become a coach?
Well, very much like Brian, it was very powerful and transformative in my own life to have a coach. And I was actually coached when I was healing my own chronic health conditions. And so not only did I see options, tools, resources, knowledge, expertise that were presented to me, but also my own potential. And that's what I really loved about being coached, was that my coach would often see more my own potential than I was even aware of. And that was very empowering for me. And for me, I guess I was a born coach, one might say, but in those days we didn't use the word coach. As a kid, I was always the go-to person that people came to for motivation and support and positivity and to turn lead into gold. And I love everything about personal transformation and healing and getting to the next level in life. So it was a great sort of combination of receiving coaching that ultimately saved my life through my mentor, Michio Kushi, and then loving coaching, like loving helping people and the whole process of transformation. So that's really how I got into coaching. And then when I recovered from my chronic health conditions and started my own healing arts practice, then I incorporated holistic coaching and counseling. I'm a trained therapist as well. And so I incorporated that into the services that I offered.
What I like about what you said, Lydia, a coach will see your potential when you don't see it yourself. And I remember that for myself, especially at the beginning of my journey. I didn't have a lot of self-belief, self-worth, and my coach saw something in me that I didn't see myself at the time. And also, you can also borrow confidence from your coach and borrow their experience and their confidence. And really, that can support you. Do you agree with me there?
Oh, absolutely. Like my mentor, Michio Kushi, he saw much more in me than I could have even imagined at the time. I was always struggling with chronic illness and just wanted to be basic functional. And he would say to me, well, what do you want to do after you get better? Like, what is your soul mission, Lydia? And I was like, oh, I just want to get better. But then for someone to be able to inspire you and motivate you, but also to realistically, say to you, you can be so much more, and I can help show you the way, was really life-changing. And as I said, life-saving for me.
I agree totally. And it's so true. They will see potential in you that you don't have yourself. And that really gives you self-confidence, a boost, and allows you to grow into the person you want to become. Stay where you are, Lydia. You'll be back shortly. The incredible Desiree Anderson. Desiree, why did you become a coach?
Well, Mark, so many reasons, but I was an HR and leadership consultant for many years, as I said, across a number of countries and companies in all different sectors. And I noticed how tough it was for leaders in those companies dealing with toxic cultures and not feeling valued, feeling stressed, not having work-life balance, and just worrying all the time. And I experienced my own burnout and ill health as a result of not really valuing myself enough and always feeling that I needed to succumb to the hierarchy, probably because of my background as a child where we moved and I was put in boarding school at a young age. So I had to sort of just toe the line effectively and never really thought about myself as a human being and my own talents and uniqueness. And during this time in these corporates, I always was the person who would speak to people at all levels and was able to bring the best out of people and really help them to feel respected for their own value. And that is when I decided to become a coach, because being in HR was fine, but I was there to really help them and fix their problems, whereas I wanted to empower them. I wanted to see them grow, become better human beings, be happy in their lives. And I wanted myself to be happy. So I first had to fix myself, which is when I decided to go to the University of Bristol. I never do things by halves. And I decided to do a degree in coaching to top up my HR experience. So I did that in 2019. And I learned so much about myself. I think I learned that because of my past, I had so many triggers, development areas, not bad, but that I needed to be honest about myself. And I needed to overcome those things that were limiting me and my self-sabotage, not growing even higher than what I could in terms and wider in terms of my self-vision for my own life. And once I'd mastered that, I felt much better. And I was able to integrate the two and start my own coaching practice using all my experience that I had gained. So that's been my journey. And as before your other guests, I've had many coaches and mentors and also leaders and people in my own personal life that have just shone a light for me and helped me be better, but also helped me be honest. I think honesty is a big part of coaching. And cheerleading too, helping you, lifting you up, keeping you moving and motivated, which is what I try and do for my clients, but also giving them leading edge examples and leading edge practices to bring their own game forward.
That's a great point, actually, Desiree. We have to fix ourselves first before we can look after other people. But all great coaches have coaches and mentors. So I don't know any good coaches that don't have coaches and mentors. It's so important for everyone to be coached. Do you agree with that?
Totally agree, Mark. You're right. Any good coach has a coach, and it's an ongoing process. If you think that you're absolutely fine, you're never going to need development, think again. Because as a coach, you need to constantly develop yourself, because you're helping others reflect on their own minds and their own development. And so you need to be that one that's as self-reflective as what you're expecting everybody else to be.
Yes. Stay where you are, Desiree. You'll be back up shortly. Our next incredible guest is the amazing Alex Fitilo. Alex, why did you become a coach?
Ooh, thank you, Mark. This is a question that can, again, provide many, many answers. For me, it was more, I was in the financial sector, and then I had a tragedy in my life that really brought me to my hands and knees. And I had to take a pause, and I decided I didn't want to be in the corporate sector anymore because it was overwhelming. There were lots of riches, but a lot of stress, a lot of burnout, a lot of competition. And that wasn't me. I was always that child that did things a little bit different. When others were talking about video games, I would talk about dreams, and I would play with the energy, and nobody really understood what I was trying to do. And so when I took my pause, I asked Spirit and I said, what can I do? What can I do first and foremost for me to get back up? Because I was really, really down. And Spirit started to trickle informations, and I started the practices myself. At first it was meditation, and then it was theta healing, and then shamanism, and then business coaching, sacred money archetypes, and then it developed from there. But it was really Spirit putting that pieces of information in front of me, and I always jumped at it. So I would see a billboard that would say theta healing, and I would say, okay, I'm doing it. I never Googled it. I never watched the review. I just thought, I'm doing it. And from there it grew, and I found my skills that my family had, and they kept at Ashkash, all the psychic skills, the laser vision, and that's really brought joy in my life. And then I decided, you know what, this is not just for me. Now I want to go big. And my mission is to eradicate shadow suffering, which is a huge mission. And it may mean different things to different people, but everybody feels in their heart when I say I want to eradicate shadow suffering, they feel I want to do that too in my own way. So this is really what's motivating me now.
I like that I don't like that you were in a bad place and feeling down, but my point is sometimes when we go to that place, it really helps us to get clarity of what we want to do, and really makes us think about the future that we'd like to create. And I liked how you listened to your intuition and really followed your own inner guidance, which has led you to what you are doing. That's incredible, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay where you are. We will be back shortly. And the incredible Andrea Ramirez. Andrea, why did you become a coach?
Well, I heard the call from the moment I recovered from a very bad illness that had me basically 3 days away from dying. We're all entrepreneurs of our lives, but I realized that once you take that entrepreneurship energy and put it into a business direction, we usually start the journey with inspiration and energy and all those good vibes, to make our dreams come true. And we're very connected at that point with that inner source that brings people and opportunities our way. But somewhere along the way, with all the grinding and exchange with the business world out there, there is a disconnect that is created from our source of inspiration, flow, confidence, and spirituality. And sometimes that brings devastating effects. In my case, it was my health. For some people, it's their relationships that are affected. And sometimes the very business they have created with such love and inspiration is affected. And so, looking into why this happens, I got into, the result of that was that there are many factors involved, but many are the result of the experiences of abuse of any kind, like bullying or growing up in dysfunctional families or environment, psychological trauma, poverty, etc. And so I decided to, already having my innate spiritual abilities, I would take my experience, my own disconnect, and be of service by reinforcing them and learning powerful techniques that will help me help other people to work with their subconscious belief, with their negative mind programming, to bring renovation and healing from the inside out, which is a very, very important thing. And we don't think too much about it. I think it's something that we should have more present than we do.
Healing ourselves from the inside out, it's the only way. And I like how you're doing it from a place of service, of helping people through bullying, which I'm really passionate about, and all of the other traumatic things that you mentioned. It's a great mission that you've got there, Andrea, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Stay where you are. You will be back shortly. Now we have the incredible Brian Evans. This is a big question now, Brian. Why do you feel being coached can support people to achieve a better future, which is our topic today, which I messed up at the beginning?
It is a big question because I think there's two facets to it, Mark. There's the individual who can utilize coaching to support themselves and what they want for the world, but then there's also the ripple effect of the collective. And I think one of the things that our society has struggled with in recent years is how to balance the individual and the collective. There's so many shifts that occur in such rapid succession. And I think technology, with all of the great benefits of technology, it's also the constant innovation and the speed of innovation has in many ways sort of detached ourselves from our own shared humanity. And I think what I focus on in my coaching, especially with leaders, is to return them, reconnect them to humanity, to what it is that makes us each both individual, but also connected in a way that we can really utilize that for the collective power. I mean, think about this from simple math terms, that when you start it goes from 1 to 2, then there's and 1 to 2 to 4 to 16. As you start creating power, exponential power, it's based on this additive effect, not the separating effect. And my sense is that we have, over the last many years, started to become more and more separate, and in that we're actually losing power. And so there's a term in aerospace science that pilots use called vector, and most of us have heard the term vector in some way, shape, or form, but specifically in aerodynamics, it's defined as a sudden change of direction with acceleration. And the thing is, our lives are constantly in this vector of changing pace, changing direction so quickly that it's disorienting. And even pilots get disorienting during vectors, but they understand that that's part of flight. Well, this is part of life. And so what a coach helps us to do is recognize that the disorientation can be equally exciting and terrifying. They don't have to be one or the other. And a perfect example, metaphor for this is a roller coaster. Yes. So if we look at our lives as a roller coaster, that there's going to be slow ascents, there's going to be rapid descents, there's going to be lefts and rights in this mix of fear and excitement, and that there's nothing wrong with this. Again, what I said earlier, life is not a problem to be fixed or solved. It's an adventure to be embraced. So coaching helps you to recognize this. And so my takeaway for your viewers and listeners is don't sit on the sidelines of your life just because of this fear. You're not a spectator. Go ahead and jump on that roller coaster, but jump on it with a coach who's been on roller coasters before, who can sit with you and understands how to navigate these ups and downs and lefts and rights. There's a quote from the movie Ferris Bueller where Ferris Bueller says, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. And I think for a lot of people, they really do allow the fear of jumping on that roller coaster, miss some of the opportunities to live an intentional life.
Beautifully said. And I like how you have taken it back to connectedness, oneness, which we're all one at the end of the day. We're all
Absolutely.
connected. And I think when you come from that place as well, you do create better results. Thank you, Brian. You will be back in a short while. Lydia, another great big question. Why do you feel being coached can support people to achieve a better future?
Well, very much like Brian was saying, we're living in the middle of uncertain times, and I would say epic times. And all of us came here to the planet on, I guess, a soul level to experience this rapid quickening in our evolution. And again, my mentor and teacher, Michio said we're evolving from Homo sapien, an intellectually based operating system, to Homo spiritus, a more holistic mind, body, spirit operating system. And we've never done this before on the planet individually, as Brian said, or collectively. And so we need extra support, and support that may come in different ways, like, different methods and shapes and sizes of support. And so coaching gives us a leg up. It helps us, what I say, be centered, connected, and conscious. So centered in our core energy, connected to our essence and power, and conscious of who we are, why are we here, what is our purpose and mission, and what are our thoughts, beliefs, choices, actions, and how are they affecting us. So a coach will provide unconditional support and greater self-awareness with motivation, and then tools and resources, or help guide you to the tools and resources that you need. And so it's really an incredible leg up. My coaches, as I mentioned, help me see my own potential, but also help me be grounded and energized and then focused. So I believe we need as much support as possible as we navigate, as Brian was saying, through these uncertain times. So we can really rapidly evolve in a way that's not burdening us, that's not overwhelming or stressing us, but with greater ease.
We all need a leg up, Lydia, and coaching is a great way to have someone who's got answers that you don't yet know the answers to, or if they don't know the answer, they will go out of their way to get you the support that you need. I am a big, big advocate of coaching. Thank you for sharing, and you will be back in a short while. Desiree, the question of the day: why do you feel being coached can support people to create a better future?
Yeah, such a big question. And I think that coaching means different things to different people, and people need coaching for different reasons in their life. And I would probably say that coaching would be beneficial in 3 key areas. So the first one is to help give you the tools to hold a mirror up to yourself for deeper self-reflection and self-awareness, because I believe that we've all got the answers within us, but a qualified coach, a great coach who asks great questions, can help release those answers from you so that they become clearer, and you can then act on those things that have become clearer for you. Also, they help you to get to know yourself and accept yourself with encouragement. So that's the first key area. The second key area, I would say, would be that a coach helps you to set goals, to remove blockages that you have psychologically,
Yes.
and to identify your own triggers. I know I've worked through many triggers, and those could be energy levels. It could be certain people that trigger you, certain things that trigger you that people say, but also certain things in your mind that block you, that make you think that you're not worthy or can't do things from a confidence perspective. So that coach that helps you through that would allow you to think through how you can act and communicate better with others in situations, work or home life. Then I think the third reason that coaches are really effective, and this is because life is a journey. And as I said at the beginning, everybody's on a journey in different ways. And that coach could pick you up at any stage of your journey. But for those who are already on their path, say, for instance, a leader who's already climbing the ranks, who feels pretty together and might not feel that they need a coach can help them recognize how to gain the lessons from feedback from others.
Yes.
Stop their self-sabotage, which could be procrastination, perfectionism, telling others what to do, keep having businesses that fail and then saying, well, I told you so, because they don't want to reach their full potential. And also coaching can help a leader broaden their vision for success. So I think overall, coaching can accelerate you and your development. It can help also help you look at yourself with honesty and give you techniques. We've mentioned them, NLP, etc., that help you overcome negative brain patterns that will stop you from achieving your greatness. We talked about soul, but also those productive things that you want to do in your life for your family and to reach your legacy, to make yourself the best person that you can be.
And what I liked about what you said, which was a little nugget for me, the answers are already within us. Everything we desire is within us, but a coach can help us get those things from within us and bring that out into our outer reality. Thank you, Desiree. Stay where you are. The incredible Alex Vitilo. Alex, why do you feel being coached can support people to create a better future?
Thank you. So I want to say coaching / healing, right? Because it goes together. And I feel if we look at the bigger picture as human, we're incredible spiritual beings.
Yes.
And our aim is to, I say, rise in love. And rise in love means really come to our full potential, or our magical gifts, our superpowers in a beautiful world, in a beautiful universe. And because of all this, somebody said grinding, right? We go through life, we don't stop, we run, and ideas and experiences. We forget, and we become disconnected from everything and everybody in the world. And we are ultimately our worst critics. You know, we might look very confident and we might look, we're leaders, but ultimately, if there is one thing that hasn't gone exactly as we wanted, we start to feel, oh, that didn't go well. We all experience that, right? Every moment, at least one time during the day, we'll feel, oh, that could have been better. I could have done better. So the role of the healer is, and the coach, is to be there to support you and to bring you back to that, hang on, you know, I'm doing the best I can at this point in time. They see your potential and they hold that space where it's a lot easier to stop, feel good. You know, if you have a little bit of magic, I know people that come to my home, to my Zoom, they transform. And they said to me, it's amazing how quickly my energy shift. What does it mean, the energy shift? If they were upset, they're not upset. If they were anxious, they're not anxious. If they had a business question they didn't know to invest in here and there, they've got the clarity. So it's very practical results, even though we're looking at it from what I call a mystical perspective, because like I said, there is a lot of intention and there's a lot, I call it magic, you can call it whatever you want, that goes when you're supporting somebody. And I say to clients, when something is not working, whether it's your life or your business, you cannot ask your husband or wife to support you. You cannot ask your children to give you that answer. You cannot go to your friends and say, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Recipe for disaster, right? Because that's not their role. Your husband is there to love you. Your children are there to learn from you. I mean, we can go into a lot of explanation, but really that one person that is going to be there to cheer you up, to show you what, the possibilities, which are limitless, but within limitless possibilities, which one is the more realistic? Because we want something to happen for you, right? So even all of these people that say, you can be whoever you want and anything can happen. Anything can happen, but if you want to fly tomorrow, chances are we're not used to flying with our wings. So you got to take a plane still. So you want somebody who is grounded that say, yes, you can do whatever you want, but what's possible for you? What's your next best step? And that's, to me, it's really nobody else can do it for you. You can try alone. It's going to take you forever. And sometimes you got to wait the next life if you believe in reincarnation. So I say, shortcut it, find the best person for you, your healer, your mentor, your shaman, whatever that is, and go for it. And don't wait, because time is going a lot faster than it used to be. It's not subjective, it's happening. So you don't want to just, sit down and say, oh, sorry, I lost an opportunity. Oh, I'm here again. Oh, next year, the same intention. No.
We can all be our own worst critics for sure. And what I like about what you said, anything is possible, but also keeping it realistic of what is possible for yourself. And I say that all the time. You can create any reality that you want, but within reason. And that's what I like what you have just said. It's keeping it within reason of what is possible for ourselves, but anything is possible within reason. Thank you for sharing, Alex, and stay where you are. Andrea, the question of the day: why do you feel being coached can support people to create a better future?
So I feel like coaching is like this defragmentation software in our computers. We fill our lives with knowledge, information, experiences, people, and even objects. And at some point, we might get lost in that constellation of things. So life can become overwhelming. And coaching, in a way, just like this software, it helps us put each thing in its rightful place and to go from this chaos, energy consuming chaos, to a state of coherence, to a state of being more energized. And so once we have this coaching software installed in our lives, lives run with more meaning and appreciation for each experience that we're confronted with. Because then each setback or difficult situation becomes an opportunity to become better at life. We can objectively deal with things instead of drowning in that perception of a problem or that perception that is something wrong. So a better future is built with every decision we make today. And as uncertain as we perceive the world today, with everything that is going on, coaching, I believe, will give you the tools to work through the circumstances, because it goes beyond hand holding. It's more than just holding your hand and walking with you along the way. Coaching will give you tools to practically navigate and surf the waves of life, and not only sorting out the issues that you might have in front of you, but also to gain space and enjoyment, to be happy, to find this happiness in life. John Lennon, I believe, he said, if you have happiness, that means that you have everything. So if we main that our main focus, and we use the tools that coaching brings to our lives and we put them into practice, we have a better chance to not drown in these mountains and waves of information and circumstances that we're bombarded every day.
Coherence is such a beautiful word, and I'm ready to surf the waves of life, Andrea, and I know coaching will help us get there. Thank you for sharing that. Stay where you are. You will be back shortly. Brian Evans, tell us a little bit about the coaching that you do and how you serve the world.
So where I'm being called right now, as I shared a little bit earlier, is as leadership coaching, and that encompasses both executive leadership and also personal leadership. How that serves out, or how I serve those intentions. are really rooted, Mark, in one of the tenets of positive psychology, which is that the way to activate our lives and really enliven ourselves is to take a learning orientation towards life. That things happen in our lives and things happen around us, some of which we have influence on, some of which we have no influence on whatsoever. And yet, how we interpret them, can we learn from them? Can we grow from them? I think we're all seeing that over the last 2 years with the pandemic, is that this was something that we had no advance warning of. There was no expectation that we should or could do anything differently to avoid it. It's ever present. It's affecting all of our lives. And so the question that I pose to my clients is, based on your own personal leadership and then the collective leadership for my executive coaching clients, how can you learn and grow from this? What is it that this is teaching us so that we can carry that lesson forward? There's always, always, always a gift in the struggle. It's very difficult to see it sometimes because we're in so much pain during the struggle, but there's always a gift in the struggle. And asking that question, what is that gift, allows us to move into that learning orientation towards life and actually receive that gift and carry it forward. And I believe that one of the gifts out of the struggles of the past couple of years has been we've reshifted our gaze squarely on humanity, and that the ripple effect will be that we're going to continue to recenter in our humanity for many years to come. That's the gift of it, that we've walked through this metaphorical doorway that has invited us to abandon process over people and rediscover the power of people over people, guiding and informing the processes of our life, and reestablishing the individual and collective humanity. And so the takeaway that I offer is that life is precious. Each of us is having this individual and collective human experience, like we've talked about, but root into that humanity. Find your people, ask for help, look for partnerships, listen deeply without prejudice, and embrace and expand your empathy. There's a master coach named Steve Chandler, and he was asked the question, well, how do you walk into a room full of thousands of people and share something with them based on where they are? And he answered with 2 words. He said, just connect. Just connect. And I think that that's what we're being invited to do, is just connect with each other.
Well, talking of connecting, Brian, how can our audience connect with you?
Oh, well, if they would like to just connect with me, I would love to just connect with them. You can reach me via my website at brianevanscoach.com, or on all of my social media channels at Brian Evans Coach. That I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I would absolutely welcome any opportunity to inspire, and if it works, empower them to really create that intentional living.
Excellent. Stay where you are. You will be back shortly. Lidia Kuleshnyk, can you share the kind of coaching you do and how you serve the world?
Sure, absolutely. So I offer holistic coaching services, and within that, the high performance and wellness coaching really focuses on moving beyond mindset. So many clients that I work with are high achieving men and women who would like to, often over 50, who feel that they've mastered to some degree the basic principles of mindset. Of course, we're always expanding the awareness of that. And they'd like to get to the next level in their life through really learning about health, how health can be a fundamental pillar, and reclaiming their personal sovereignty of mind, body, spirit, or mastering their inner power. So in high performance and wellness coaching, I help clients move beyond mindset into an understanding and mastering of universal principles of health, energy, and lasting power. And this is, again, part of our individual journey, but also part of our collective journey as conscious leaders. So I always say we can be the conscious leader of ourselves first and foremost. And then, as all of us are saying here today, part of the collective. And there's no insignificant action. So now is the time for us to be conscious of our own evolution, because we have the greatest opportunity, I believe, on the planet to efficiently, as we were saying as a group here, really effectively evolve. There's a quickening happening, and it doesn't have to be difficult. And it doesn't have to be a burden. And as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be overwhelming or stressful, especially when we can align or have that coherence with the principles in the universe. So things like principles like everything is energy, everything that has a beginning has an end, everything that has a front has a back, the bigger the front, the bigger the back. So I love sharing those universal principles and helping bring greater awareness to clients on how they can get to the next level in their own life and in their health and empowerment.
How can our audience connect with you?
My website is Apona, A-P-O-N-A, healingmethod.com, aponahealingmethod.com, and you can also find me on some of the major social media channels.
Thank you so much. Stay where you are, Lidia. And the incredible Desiree, tell us a little bit about the coaching you do and how you serve the world.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Talk about riding the waves. That's definitely what my company was named after. So Crest is to help leaders find their unique crest and ride the waves of working life. So we do a number of interventions to help individuals and teams. So one of those is consulting with companies to help them realign their culture, be more ethical towards their employees, and also giving advice about teamwork and values. So effectively coaching the board and coaching the leadership team. Also one-to-one coaching for those leaders who want that personal intervention and growth, using NLP and other leading edge techniques, whichever suits the individual. Also very practical exercises for them. And then those that love the connection and the collaboration, as everybody was talking about earlier, group coaching is really good for that. So we run a number of interventions there. And then training on various business topics such as business communication, career, hybrid teams, which is a very big thing at the moment with more remote working and shifts in leadership and work structures, as well as leadership programs for training purposes. So we run a number of courses and one-to-one interventions. Where people could get hold of me is at crestcoachingandhr.com or info@crestcoachingandhr.com or any of the social media channels. We'd love to hear from them.
Thank you, Desiree. Stay where you are. I'll bring you back up shortly. Alex Vitalo, tell us a little bit about the coaching you do and how you serve the world.
Well, I serve people to really step into their leadership. And that could be people that are either in the corporate world, but they're, I say, tired of the status quo. They're tired of saying yes to others, and they want to start to saying yes to themselves. And there's people that feel they've got something that they want to share with the world. They bring what I call betterment to the world. So I'm there to really give them their confidence and the tools. It could be a combination of very practical business tools. I work with sacred money archetypes, which is understanding what is your money story? What is your abundance story? How do you operate? Are those archetypes maneuver your reality without you knowing that they're maneuvering your reality, and how to work best with them? And all the way to some more psychic tools where what is really going on that you don't feel like doing a live today? What is really going on that every time somebody asks you a price, you wait 10 days before you send that quote, right? So there are some very practical association to what's going on, what it's conditioning you, and how can we support you again so that you don't have to choose between a good relationship, being a good parent, having a fantastic business, your health. You know, we're used to creating compartments, right? So it's either the good relationship, the good health, maybe you got a lot of free time, no clients, or you got too many clients, no free time. So it's really bringing the two together, and for people to believe in themselves, to believe it's okay to be different. It's definitely okay to be doing things differently. It's really, you want to be doing things, like I said, leaders go first. You don't want to wait for things to happen and to say, oh, let me see what's happening. No, you got to jump in. And it's a lot easier to jump in with somebody that can tell you, these are, again, probabilities. This is what's likely to happen if you jump here. This is what's happening to happen if you jump here. And then how do you maneuver it with you feeling good about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and what you're creating for the world and for yourself.
And how can our audience connect with you?
Through my website, breathingheart.co.uk, through LinkedIn, social media. Just search for Alex Vitillo and I will pop up.
Just say your handle again, because you did break up a little bit there.
Alex Vitillo. If they Google Alex Vitillo on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, is at Breathing Heart Coaching, they will find me. But through my website, they're going to find everything. So breathingheart.co.
Perfect. Thank you, Alex. Stay where you are. And last but not least, the incredible Andrea Ramirez. Just share with us a little bit about the coaching that you do and how you serve the world.
So I had to put a label on it, and it's spiritual coaching. I call it like that because it engulfs a lot of well-being. Well-being is my highest value. When I lost myself along the way of my own entrepreneurship journey, I realized that it's very important that you need to have your eyes on the goal, but you also need to have your eyes on yourself. Simon Sinek said, we can spend our lives running with our eyes closed, or we can spend them running with our eyes open. And running with our eyes closed is where most people are caught right now. So through my spiritual coaching, I am very passionate helping people change their negative thinking patterns, change subconscious beliefs, help them with post-trauma and how the behavior, the result of that trauma is affecting them today in their business and in their life. Because like I said, we are the entrepreneurs of our own life, but we're also the entrepreneurs of our business. And through NLP hypnosis, I help with that part of the subconscious that triggers or is triggered by many of our experiences in our conscious life. And then the most spiritual part is the channeling, which is sort of mediumship, where you get very spiritual messages from source in different situations, in different things, questions that you might have. And I use tarot, which is a very powerful tool to get you out of our head and see whatever problem or whatever thing you might be going through on the table in black and white. It's very different tools, but they're all directed to help people be the best version of themselves, to get them to get out of their head, to question their beliefs, and to try to navigate life in the best way possible, to give them the tools for them to succeed at life.
And how can our audience connect with you?
They can go to my website, fortunaliving.org, or they can go to my Instagram, Fortuna Living Spirit. There they will find all the information. I even have a nice Spotify so they can listen to some good relaxing music as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Andrea. I'll bring everyone back onto the screen. I did plan some answers and questions, but we're coming up to the hour mark. And if I go over the hour, it will not go up onto Instagram and things like that. So I do need to close within 1 minute. So I want to say a big thank you, Brian Evans, for coming on and sharing your wisdom. A big thank you, Lidia Kuleshnyk. A big thank you, Desiree Anderson. A big thank you, Alex Vitillo. A big thank you, Andrea Ramirez. I've got you all there, haven't I? Yes, you're all there. Thank you, guys. I've really enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed coming on to the show today?
Absolutely.
Very much.
Thank you. Honor and pleasure.
Thank you so much. And I can honestly say coaching really can support you to a better future. I'm testament to that. All our coaches are testament to that. But their results with their clients is also testament to that. Thank you everyone for watching Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. Today has been an incredible conversation. Until next time.